What's up, everybody? The meteorologist John Choquet here at my house. We have a tornado warning, so over the course of me deciding to leave the office after producing for Andrea's live coverage across the Milwaukee area and getting home after some car issues, even with this extreme heat, we have a storm that formed and went tornadic here in the Chicagoland area. And just a moment ago, while the little intro was playing, we had tornado warning issue for Chicago itself. So you probably got here the tornado sirens going off in Chicago, and I've heard that before. It is a creepy noise with everything like reverberating off the buildings and stuff. So tornado warning in effect right now. It's also warned for up to 2-inch hail, but we're looking at it. If we just zoom in, we got the 4 panels here, right? So I got the top left-hand panel, that's just reflectivity. Got correlation coefficient like right above me, and then right next to me is the velocities, and then ZDR. I'll actually move stuff around a tiny bit here, so we can. Let's not do that. I still want to make sure there's hail. So we're kind of keeping an eye on here. I move the velocities over so it's not interfering with where my panel is, and we're just kind of seeing the hail algorithm's going nuts on this. Got 2-inch hail marker. Not seeing that right now. It went pretty bonkers back by West Dundee, but look at this. This is a good looking supercell. We have got the Screaming Eagle, I like to say. Got that curve up in here through Inverness and into the Mount Prospect area. So it's a healthy supercell. It is riding right along the warm front. You can kind of see a boundary right where my mouse, zoom out where my mouse is at here, and it goes right into downtown Chicago. So we got to keep a very close eye on this. This screams the potential of having anything tornadic. Right now, however, I am not seeing anything indicating anything on the ground at the moment. I see here we have it's a little messy, some velocities, so you're showing where the greens and the reds are meeting. Ignore this part. This is some kind of weird, something weird going on there, but overall, where the velocities are, I'm not seeing anything at this exact second that would indicate a tornado ongoing, which is good. But the potential is very much there, and it's also very possible that we could switch over to some hail falling pretty soon here. It looks like actually we do have some hail falling up in the Inverness and South Barrington, Palatine area. Notice the correlation coefficient here up to a little bit lower. You're seeing some of the oranges, a little bit of green even showing up as well. So it's indicating some hail is definitely falling. Doesn't surprise me in the slightest that there is hail falling in this due to how this storm is. It is tall as all get out. We're up over 60,000 foot tall echo top, so it's a very tall storm. You're in Chicago, you're south of Chicago, you're north of Chicago. You guys can probably see this storm from far away. It's probably a mean looking sucker, but overall, right now, it looks like the hail sizes are probably pretty minimal in this at the moment. Probably maybe quarter size hail in the Inverness area, but it has potential to go up quite a bit. We had this happen in the Madison and Milwaukee areas not even that long ago, about 2 hours ago. Had some 2-inch hail. We could see that here potentially in the northern suburbs of Chicago at any given time, and that's going to be where you see those lower correlation coefficient values showing up in the Inverness, South Barrington, Palatine area. The big focus, of course, is the tornado warning is getting much further south over by the Hanover Park area. There is circulation here, but doesn't seem to be this lowering or the correlation coefficient lowering here. I don't think that's a debris ball. I think that's just some backscattering that doesn't line up. It's not lining up. It's back behind the storm, so that wouldn't make sense about the hail. Was that 2-inch in Madison isolated? It wasn't in Madison. It was I think Sun Prairie was one of the burbs off to the east. Getting messages here. Got the weather team working. You hear some weird background noises. That's going to be the weather team communicating with each other as storms are ongoing here. Regardless of if there is a tornado or not, there is definitely some very strong winds here. We call the rear flank downdraft. So basically, wrapping around the back of the storm. Strong winds wrapping around and going down to the surface. That's happening in the Bartlett area, the Hanover Park area, the Streamwood area. You can see that from where the velocities are really lighting up. It shows some red here. This is just the radar getting all confused because the wind is so strong, so it seems to be kind of rolling here. We just had crazy weather here in watching South Barrington. Awesome. Yeah, so it's had crazy weather here. Tornado warning. Yes, so that tornado warning, you're hearing the sirens. Mount Prospect, Bloomingdale, all the way Chicago. The tornado warning does include the loop here in Chicago. Includes a good chunk of Cook County, honestly. It includes O'Hare Airport. It includes Lincolnwood, Norwich, Elmwood Park, Oak Park, Addison, Bensonville, Bloomingdale, Rosedale, and that nothing is confirmed on the ground. This storm just has that potential. It is latched along a boundary layer that helps give it some more rotation ability. Honestly, just has something to latch onto to possibly have something a little more vicious here. So where you're seeing be in this area by Schaumburg, right? So you have where the greens and the over here, where the greens and the reds are kind of coming together. It's not looking super obvious that there's anything happening right now. We are in a very densely populated part of the country. If something drops down, we will see it on correlation coefficient very quickly. The potential is there for there to have a tornado at any time. There's a lot of spin with this storm, but I'm not seeing anything that's very obviously showing a tight couplet. So that's where the greens and the reds are coming together really close. You kind of see it a bit right where my mouse is, right? You're kind of looking at it a little bit right there, but it's not strong enough for me to say that we'll see something right now. So to keep a very close eye on this is moving to the south and to the east generally towards they'll be crossing near Highway I-290. It's heading southeast towards the Rosedale area, pretty much right along Highway 19 down towards Addison and Bensonville. So it's going to be falling pretty much right along the middle here of this tornado warning into the northwestern sections of Chicago. It's going to pass probably just south of O'Hare Airport, which if I remove the radar is right there. So it'll be passing very close to and just south of O'Hare Airport. Nothing on the ground currently. Got to re-emphasize that. There is some hail falling, but nothing too crazy. The algorithm is going bonkers on this guy. It's showing 2.39-inch hail, but I'm not seeing any of that confirmed right now. I'm not seeing any MPing reports showing up on my phone here of big hail. It's just showing that potential for a tornado. We're watching this to see if there is going to be any large hail, but overall it is, as of right now, just the tornado threat and maybe some smaller hail where you're seeing the correlation coefficient a little bit lower. That's spotty orange and yellow showing up just above me in the Palatine area. There could be some hail. There's definitely some hail falling there, but it's not going to be what the hail algorithm with the radar showing indicating of 2.43. I know the severe thunderstorm warning still has up to 2-inch hail possible, as does the tornado warning. I think the National Weather Service in Chicago is just being extra careful because it's very likely this thing will drop hail at some point. If I tilt the storm up a bit, it does show some hail up in here about 15,000 feet or so. So hail will fall out of this eventually. This thing is wrapped up to all hell. It is quite wrapped up. And let's see, we had a radar update here. Again, this is the area we got to keep a close eye on. Notice I got the little square here, right in here, where you have the red and the green coming together. That's your best chance for it. So somebody asked, had some crazy lightning 200 feet from my house, sounded nuts. I believe it, Brandon. That's plenty of times we're out chasing stuff, lightning gets close by, and it always scares me a little bit because it's very loud. Okay, all right, the team is talking about some stuff here. So if you're just joining in, we have a tornado warning. It is including Chicago itself. It's in the north. It's up by the Bloomingdale area. We just got a radar update just there. Thankfully, nothing has been confirmed on the ground. Okay, let's see. Inch hail in Palatine. Thank you for that. Yes. So again, I wouldn't have been, if you told me you're getting 1 inch hail in Palatine, doesn't surprise me. Again, here in Palatine, notice where in the upper right hand corner where my mouse is, see the lower CCs, it's red, but then over here you got the orange, even little hints of green. 1 inch hail, that seems to make sense. And it's probably not even like high volumes of hail, it's just some hail falling with this, up to that 1 inch in diameter. Down here in the Bloomingdale and Roselle area, notice you still have where my mouse is at here, the reds and the greens coming here, but notice it's not super tight. It's not, you have it showing up as 2 pixels just butting up right up against each other. So I think 4-inch hail in Barrington, JK. Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Honestly, the thing that concerns me the most is the rotation. This storm is wrapped up like crazy, and like we tilted up. Look at that. When we tilted up quite a bit, this is picking up a little over 11,000 feet. You can see how it wraps all the way around there, and that when you see that, there could be something that very quickly could go from, we're watching, we have that tornado warning in effect, but it doesn't look like anything's on the ground, to something's happening. So that's why we're live. We're just trying to see what happens here. We're going to be very, very densely populated, one of the biggest cities in the country, and clouds moving south and east, south and direct east. Yes, it is. It is. We have a boundary right here. You can almost see it on radar. In the Cicero area, from Bloomingdale down to Cicero, down to Chicago. The line pretty much right where my mouse is, and that's where the storm, where the tornado warned section of the storm, the most likely section to have a tornado happen, is going to pretty much ride right along. That's going to go just south of O'Hare Airport, and then generally down towards the Cicero area, and then just south of the immediate downtown area of Chicago. That would lead the rest of the storm to hit the north side of Chicago, Evanston, Mount Prospect. You guys are all getting stuff right now. It is really wrapped up here, but nothing, I don't see anything that would indicate a tornado ongoing at this exact second, which is good. Again, we're in a very densely populated part of the country. We don't want to see a big tornado moving through Chicago today. Big hail, that's okay, but we do not want to see a massive tornado here. They've updated the warning, tornado and 2-inch hail. Again, it's warned for 2-inch hail, but I haven't seen anything indicating 2-inch hail yet. So we could, up here, Palatine area, over by Prospect Heights, Mount Prospect, you see little speckles of orange. That's where you're going to be seeing hail maybe up to 1 inch in diameter. Will a tornado come to Chicago? I'm scared, really scared. Okay, just getting your tornado safe place. People, there's nothing on the ground right now. The potential is there, but there is no tornado on the ground. If you hear sirens going off, you got your phone vibrating like crazy, making the alert noise, that's where, get in your tornado safe place. If you are in like an apartment building, a higher rise building, especially if you're in Chicago proper, chances are you're not in a single family home. Get yourself to the most interior room, a closet, your bathroom, so you can just get away from the windows, and you should be okay. How will this tornado affect soybean prices? Dude, I don't know. Some of these, you guys ask some interesting questions, the YouTube comments. So we got another radar update here, tornado update a little bit. Looking in here, I see we have a wind report come in. Numerous medium-sized or larger trees down along Tanglewood Drive just south of Schaumburg Road, report relayed via Twitter. So if we roll this radar back, we'll see, was this a tornado or was this strong gusty winds? And it looks like it was strong gusty winds. You see here over by the Streamwood area, this shows very strong winds moving through. So even knowing there isn't a tornado, you're gonna get some very strong winds if you are on the southern edge in what we call the rear flank downdraft. You're in the southern area of the storm here, right along like Highway 19, for example, or down towards Spring, whatever this highway is, over by Bloomingdale, Highway 20. This area here where I'm highlighting with my mouse, that very likely we'll have some very strong winds with it, 60, 70 miles an hour possible. Any hail so far, I think we've only seen maybe some quarter size hail with this. Again, it is warned for 2-inch hail, but I haven't seen anything so far to indicate hail that large. I think only maybe up to some quarter size hail in a couple spots here in the Palatine area or by Mount Prospect. But I think it might be even kind of isolated. Some smaller hail in the mix with this. I bet some hail will fall out of this eventually. It's a very tall storm, very powerful storm. Wouldn't be shocked if some hail comes out of this thing, as we have pretty intense winds. This tornado warning, again, looking right around where it could be. Not seeing too much right now. And if we do get a tornado ongoing over here on the correlation coefficient, all this does is it indicates the correlation of the objects it's picking up in the sky. Rain correlates very well, so you have a very high value near 100%. Debris, stuff in the air, pieces of roofs, trees, all that jazz, very low correlation. And then it would bottom out kind of like the blues like this, except it would correlate with the velocities and reflectivity. So it would be a debris ball. We haven't seen any of that yet. We're going to keep this going here. Will it hit Palos Hills? Let's see here. So if you are in the warning, right? If you are in the tornado warning, that is your most likely area, if anything does form at all, for it to occur. It really looks like it's riding right along a boundary layer here, a little boundary that is extending from pretty much right along the interstate here. So whichever interstate this is that I don't remember off the top of my head. This happens when you don't drive in Chicago, you only take the trains. 290, right? Yeah, Old Grand Boulevard, something like that. Whatever this interstate is, if I can get it to show up on Grand Avenue, basically right along here. It'll go just south of O'Hare, and then I've been told Schaumburg got 1 inch. It's very possible that there was up to 1 inch hail. I haven't heard anything more than 1 inch so far. It was sent down to Cicero and down to just south of downtown Chicago. So it's kind of going in a line just like this here. So anybody like Addison, Westchester, Cicero, Oak Park, Chicago itself, that's your best chance if there is a tornado warning, a tornado within this tornado warning, to have anything tornadic. Hail wise, right now doesn't look super impressive. Maybe if I tilt the radar up a little bit, we can see some elevated hail that might still need to come down. And I mean, the storm's spinning like a top. Not seeing a heck of a lot of hail with it. There's some mixed in there, but I'm not seeing a ton. So latest radar update that we've just gotten. So it is currently 6:34 p.m. Central Time. I do see an area of strong winds. There's definitely strong winds in the Elk Grove Village area. It's probably ripping pretty good here, where you see the much brighter green showing up. But one thing I do note that's a little interesting here is just to the east of Bloomingdale Road in the Roselle Bloomingdale area, notice that the reds and the greens kind of meeting up right here. We'll see if that's a fluke or if that's a trend. If that's a trend, we could end up seeing sun. So we got to be very careful here, guys. This is why we're live. Why there's a tornado warning. At any time, this could really ramp up beyond just the potentials there for a tornado imminently to a tornado is ongoing. Nothing ongoing at this exact second based on the most recent radar frame from 2 minutes ago. So, okay. I'm trying to keep an eye on the comments here, but there's a bunch coming in. So I'm going to try to answer them all I can, but let's see if I can see them on the chat here on the other area. Let's see. Yeah, the odds are not. Yeah, chances are, guys, more likely than not, you will not see a tornado at your location. They're usually very small. Chicago is very big. If we get a tornado ongoing, I will start barking out street names. They'll start saying specific neighborhoods, but right now it's not looking like it. Barrington Hills, power is still out. How badly will it affect Palos Hills? I'm trying to figure out where Palos Hills is. And this is Chicago's a very big metro. I'm only somewhat familiar with it, so I can probably just Google it really fast on my phone so I know exactly where it's at. It rings a bell. Palos Hills, Illinois is. Zoom out. Okay, it is near. Okay, it's near Oak Lawn. All right, so Palos Hills over there. It's gonna stay north of you in Palos Hills. Who was asking about it? Max. It looks like it'll stay to the north of you. There's hail here, but I can't tell you where. Palatine hail. Yes, there's been some hail in the Palatine area. I think possibly up to 1 inch in diameter. I see a couple other couple pea-size reports coming in most recently. So I think the hail overall is fairly small with this, what we've seen thus far. But we are, again, continuing to kind of keep an eye on this. Again, the main reason we went live is there's tornado warning in Chicago is a big city. Yeah, 1 inch hail so far. It's warned for 2 inch hail, but I've yet to see 2 inch hail confirmed whether that's a picture or not. So latest radar update, I've noticed there still isn't a clear indicator on the velocities here. So on the wind, showing that there is enough rotation for there to be a tornado ongoing. Nothing showing up a correlation coefficient, no debris ball showing up. So that potential just continues. The area where the most likely chance, if anything were to form, is just the southwest of O'Hare Airport. So it's going to be right pretty much where Highway 19 and Kinger Highway meet up. That seems to be on. Seems to be some hail on Streamwood. No hail on Sherwood Park. Is there hail somewhere other than Palatine? Just maybe a tiny bit over by Schaumburg, but overall for hail, looks like Inverness, the Palatine area, Buffalo Grove, maybe Prospect Heights, mostly sub-severe. I think maybe up to some 1 inch hail that would be kind of isolated. There's probably still some pea-sized hail falling in the Gulf or Des Plaines area, maybe even near Elk Grove Village. I think the strong gusty winds are taking more of a priority, especially near, probably getting some strong winds over O'Hare Airport here right now or very soon. So could see some winds. Let's see here what's showing up. Maybe up around 60 miles an hour at O'Hare right now or in the next couple of seconds. I'm sure no flights are taking off or landing right now at O'Hare. But I'm not seeing anything on radar right now that is indicating that we are getting a tornado at this moment across Chicago. Let's see. Let's bring it back over here. Man, you guys, all kinds of, sirens are gonna keep going off. Sirens are gonna keep going off here in Chicago while this tornado warning is in effect. See, the warnings may have updated. Let's check out what they say. Yeah, they're still warning this for 2 inch hail, but I can tell you right now, I have yet to see anything. This is radar indicated. I've yet to see any kind of tornadic activity. It's showing, like right now, the hail size, the algorithm's showing up to 1.9, but nothing on radar right now is indicating lots of large hail. Again, I think we've had a couple reports of up to 1 inch hail, but nothing of the sort at the moment. Looking at this storm as it continues, did we just get a radar update? Radar update we did just now. O'Hare Airport is windy and it's raining hard at O'Hare. The area of rotation is just to your southwest over the Bensonville and Addison area, but again, I'm not seeing anything that's very imminent of a tornado. I do not no tornadoes spotted at the moment. So it is crazy. The weather is, I mean, you're getting a big storm. These winds are no joke. I mean, we have a wind report of lots of tree limbs down and whatnot in the Schaumburg area, and that's likely from the rear flank downdraft of the storm. So that's the strong winds. So look at that. We got a big old radar just updated. The velocities, yeah, big old spike right over O'Hare. There's a weather station there, so we should get a reading from this pretty soon. The radar is saying up to maybe 62 miles an hour. We'll see what that actually mixes down to the surface. We're picking this up about 1,600 feet above the ground. Again, no clear-cut, obvious sign of a tornado. So, again, that potential is still there, but it appears to be we are keeping that tornado potential right now at somewhat arm's length. It's worthy of a tornado warning. I don't have visual of it, looking at it right now with my own eyes, but looking on radar, this doesn't say to me an imminent tornado. This says it's possible, but not probable very soon. We check in on some other areas as well. So I'd say I'm just kind of checking out what I see a 60 mile per hour wind gust in Mount Prospect, so it's windy there. We also have a pretty nasty storm. This was actually what impacted Milwaukee earlier. Has now moved onshore in Michigan. I notice it's over the Hartford area right now, and showing it has 70 mile per hour winds and ping pong ball size hail is what the warning's for. And this is going to continue off to the south and to the east through southern sections of Michigan and eventually into Ohio. I wouldn't be surprised if these all kind of combine together as a big old squall line tonight as it moves into Ohio as well. It looks like we do have a quarter report of hail that have come in. So 1 inch report in Mount Prospect. So some 1 inch hail in the mix here from this storm, but not 2 inch hail. Even though it's being warned for 2 inch hail, it is only making up to 1 inch hail. Why the tornado siren is still going? Because there is a tornado warning still in effect. Those sirens are going to go till the tornado warning has come to an end. Nothing's on the ground, but at any moment it could spin up. That's why you have the warning. You want to make sure you guys are aware of when something is possibly happening. We're gonna wait and we're gonna see what that next update for the radar is. Again, I can't believe they're still warning it for 2 inch hail, even knowing we've only gotten confirmation of 1 inch hail. Most recently in the Mount Prospect area. You can see normally if you guys want really big hail to show up, correlation coefficient is going to be showing a lot of yellow and green and blue on radar. We're just hearing these little speckles of orange, and that means you're likely seeing some hail falling, ton of rain, and maybe the occasional quarter size hail with this. So as we keep waiting for an update here, just shout out for our sponsors really fast. I know it's the middle of a tornado warning. Help make it possible. C3 Group, Run Law Group, American Contractor Show, and Atlas. All thanks for letting that happen here. But as we wait on that next update, we just got one right here. Yeah, the strongest winds. You got a real push of some real strong winds literally just south of O'Hare, right on the southern side of the airport here. You're getting ripped here, guys. Winds likely in the 60s in the Schiller Park area heading towards Franklin Park. Notice keep an eye right in here, right over North Lake. There's some rotation showing up, so we gotta continue being careful. There's still nothing confirmed. There's no tornado ongoing at the moment, but it is definitely pretty windy here, folks, and there's still rotation here in the North Lake area, and that continues to move south and eastward. We could see that get to the Oak Park area and Cicero coming up soon, and then eventually into Chicago itself. So again, it's an actively evolving situation. At any moment things could really pick up. And man, yeah, the YouTube comments, you guys are getting after it here. So looks like it might even be hailing a little bit at O'Hare right now too. Probably nothing more than P to quarter size hail at O'Hare Airport. Again, the algorithm is showing stuff all the way up to maybe 2 inch diameter, but again, there hasn't really been anything that has said more than 1 inch, and then we're getting reports of only up to 1 inch hail. I'm even gonna check MPing reports as well. And looking at it, I see a 1/2 inch piece, more pea size hail. Yeah, I'm not seeing when other reports just coming in from the public are generally quite small. That really screams to me that this is not a crazy event by any means in Chicago, hail wise anyway. But definitely strong winds, definitely a tornado threat as that continues. Midway Airport, that's going to be well to the south. I think these storms are going to miss the Midway Airport. I believe it's that square right here, most likely to the north. It's in the tornado warning, but it's likely going to miss it to the north. So, as we wait for that next update, again, we can kind of check in on what else is going on. Again, we have these crazy storms here off to the east. Look at that. That guy's looking nasty. This is pretty high up. Got some strong winds that came off the storm that impacted Milwaukee earlier. Trees being knocked down, stuff as it came ashore on the Michigan coast. But the big storm here in Chicago, looks like the hail algorithm is starting to calm down a little bit, because we continue to not really see much in the way of big hail. It's warned for 2 inches, but it's definitely not making it. Okay. Heard there was a confirmed tornado in Franklin Park headed toward the city. Okay, well, we'll see. I do not get, unfortunately, I do not have the advantage of storm chasers or anything here, so I'm just kind of looking at the radar. It looks like, oh no, hail algorithm's getting big again. We are latched along a boundary. Again, something could spin up quickly, but if there is indeed any kind of tornadic activity, it will show up on the correlation coefficient. If it's doing damage, we will have debris get lifted pretty quickly, and you will see a debris ball show up here in the Chicago area. But I'm not seeing that right now. I'm not seeing anything on radar that screams to me, hey, this is something happening right now. It looks like it might try to do something here over by Melrose Park, but that's the area to watch. So notice where you see the reds showing up and then the greens and almost white color showing up. This is where your rotation is. This is your most likely location for anything tornado warned, but it doesn't, or anything tornado potential, but it doesn't look like there's anything happening right now. It is continuing to move to the south and east. Oak Park, you're next up, River Forest, Berlin, Cicero, and then eventually just the western Chicago's just west of downtown Chicago. That's moving generally this way to the east-southeast. So it will cross like the Stevenson Expressway eventually here in the next probably 20 minutes or so. So it's 6:49 Central Time right now, and this keeps moving on. Bree says, I'm in Melrose Park right now in a semi, and it's lightly raining and super dark. Yeah, you are probably just ahead of the storm here. It's probably going to get pretty windy as it's coming over you. So just a heads up. Yeah, so the next update we'll see. Right now, that is a little concerning. We do have a bit of a couplet here. That's where your main rotation is going to be if I put the en route on. It does show, yes, some rotation showing up here. So, but hail-wise, things have been pretty quiet. This is a pretty minimal looking hail event. So, tornado sirens are going to keep going, and they'll keep going till that tornado warning is canceled. We see another tree limbs down on roadways in the Roselle area. Again, even knowing there isn't anything tornadic, there are still very strong winds, 60, 65, maybe even 70 miles an hour with this in the rear flank downdrafts. So the far southwestern section of the storm, pretty much in the Addison area, probably right along Tri-State Tollway right now, just south of O'Hare. Very strong winds, again, in excess of 60 miles an hour. So even if you're in this area, you could see some great, blinding rain conditions and very strong winds. You might think you're in a tornado, but it's very likely just the rear flank downdraft. So just the winds wrapping around the backside of the storm and coming down to the surface and taking down trees and probably tossing your garbage can to your neighbor. So that's going to just kind of keep rolling here as we pull into Chicago. And that, let's see, we're still waiting on the next update here. This is the last update from 6:46. It's 6:50. We'll get another update here any second now. I'm noticing a bit. We'll see what happens as we are pulling in Chicago itself. The hail sizes have been staying pretty minimal on this, which is pretty good. There you go. Got another update just there. So this is from just under a minute ago. Notice still not seeing. Yeah, I'm still not seeing anything that would indicate a tornado on the ground right now, which is good. We're gonna keep this rolling here. Over here in Cicero, man, YouTube, you guys are getting after it on the comments. I'm trying to keep an eye on them. It's also a little hard for me to see the text at what's going on. How about Rogers Park? I do know where Rogers Park is, and you guys are good. You're too far north for anything tornadic. Heavy rain, lots of thunder and lightning, strong gusty winds, maybe even some small hail, but nothing tornadic in Rogers Park. So that latest update here, it looks like, yeah, there is. Notice again, we have the reds here and the greens showing up. This is the area, the Melrose Park area. Somebody sent a very long, very, very long message, where you see the greens and the reds showing up. The greens and the reds showing up is where that area of rotation is. Maywood, Forest Park right now. This is the area we have to watch the closest. That's where, if there's anything that could be tornadic, it'd be where it would be happening. It is moving east-southeast. So Oak Park, Berwyn, Cicero, Chicago, Chicago south of what interstate is this? Chicago south of the Eisenhower Expressway, right? And north of Midway, that is where that potential for a tornado really lays. It's going to be basically splitting the difference between those two things I said. It'll go just south of downtown Chicago and eventually into Lake Michigan. The hail chances have maintained at quarter size or smaller. It's been warned for 2-inch hail, but it is not actually dropping 2-inch hail. The warnings for 2-inch hail, reality, are only getting about quarter size hail. Tornado prospects, again, just kind of repeating. There's nothing on the ground right now. It is tornado warned. You're probably hearing the sirens going off. You're definitely hearing the sirens going off. Your phones probably went crazy if you're in Chicago, but you are not gonna see anything on the ground right now. There's nothing on the ground right now. The most concerning areas in the Maywood and Oak Park areas, just north, just pretty much right along the Eisenhower Expressway, moving east-southeast. So Berwyn, Cicero, and Chicago south of the Eisenhower Expressway is where the highest chance of anything touching down is going to be. I haven't heard anything about a funnel cloud. I haven't seen anything confirmed for sure ongoing. The hail size, the algorithm keeps going bananas, but we haven't been seeing any large hail as of yet. Nothing beyond 1 inch. Strong gusty winds have been with this. Anywhere on the southwest, you had around 60. Has some reports of trees down and whatnot, especially in the southwestern portion of the storm. Very close to where that tornado potential is going to be is where your strong winds are going to be. So even if you don't see a tornado, you're very likely you're going to see some strong gusty winds, tree branches getting knocked down, all that fun stuff. Your garbage cans up in your neighbor's yard or in your neighbor's driveway or on the side of the road or wherever. So that's what we're looking at as of right now. I know people are jumping in and out, all that fun stuff. So that's what we're seeing here. And it looks like YouTube has taken off. Apparently, welcome YouTube to watching this here. Thanks for stopping by with our video here. And again, just another little plug, not intrusive advertisements. We gotta pay the bills here, guys, right? So I think we just got another update, did we not? Oh, we did. All right, so storm's looking. All right, so as a little more concerning, we're getting very obvious now. I'm just going to 2 panels real quick, and I'm gonna go to the velocities. A little easier to see. We have the Cubs game still behind. I bet they'll do a weather delay. I don't know when it starts. If it starts at like if the Cubs game starts at 7, chances are they're going to do a weather delay. Right here, right? Forest Park, Oak Park, what we're seeing on here, this is what you don't want to see. You don't want to see the red and the greens really starting to show up. This would indicate that there might be a slightly better chance that we get something tornadic to pop up in here. Nothing confirmed right now, but again, the Oak Park area, anywhere within here, right along the Eisenhower Expressway, right along where Harlem Ave is, that is where you need to keep an eye on. Strong gusty winds in Westchester right now, Lagrange Park, Maywood, Bellwood. Holy crap, 84 mile per hour wind gusts from O'Hare Airport. Dang, man. All right, so O'Hare got ripped. 84 miles an hour. That is, we're probably knocking power out, right? So if we roll the radar back to when the storm was over O'Hare, look at, so I got velocities pretty much right here. Notice where it's got the white, the green gets such a light color. My color scale goes pretty much to white, and so that's showing the 84 mile an hour wind getting recorded. So that means that right now in the Melrose Park, the Maywood, Oak Park, all of this is going to be very strong winds, in excess of 60 miles an hour for sure. You're probably knocking power out. So even if you don't have a tornado, you're still getting a lot of, hey, let's quit the dumb comments, guys. We could still get quite a bit of very strong winds here, right along Eisenhower Parkway. So again, this is heading towards Cicero next. Berwyn is probably imminent here, if not already. And then we get into Chicago as well. So it's probably going to knock power out to a lot of folks, a lot of tree damage. Even garbage cans getting tossed around, possibly some roof damage as well. 84 mile an hour winds is strong enough to do some serious damage, even if there isn't a tornado with this. And this is likely especially surging here, where you kind of see like the little appendage showing up in Lagrange Park and Forest Park, Stickney, Berwyn, Cicero coming up next. This is where your very strong winds are likely going to be, upwards of about, again, we've maxed out 84 recorded at O'Hare Airport, so that's an official reading from this storm. That's very, very strong. That is an intense wind gust. We also got a 70 mile per hour in Park Ridge, so very strong winds with this storm. So even if there isn't a tornado, there isn't going to be there'll still be strong winds. So now we have an update, new tornado warning in effect. So a lot of folks probably just had their phones go off like crazy, right? I'm sure they did. You're probably hearing sirens. Got the tornado warning. So this is for tornadoes, hail up to 2 inches diameter, which we have yet to confirm. We've only had up to 1 inch, and 80 mile per hour winds, which we can confirm. And 84 mile per hour winds officially recorded at O'Hare Airport. Yeah, you're not getting any flights taken off at O'Hare right now. So this is in Chicago right now. In Chicago itself, we've had over 80 mile an hour winds. This tornado warning is now extending all the way to the Indiana border. So new folks, welcome in. Oak Lawn, Allsip, pretty much the whole south side tornado warning now, as this is easing off to the south. And look at that. Look at the wind showing up here in the Westchester area. Jeez, Louise. I mean, this is showing just at elevation here, upwards of over 80 mile an hour winds. So this whole bulging area here, this little appendage, pretty much from Ogden Avenue, 39th Street, Route 34, Berlin, LaGrange Park, Broadview, Forest View, Stickney. You guys probably gonna get power knocking out level winds. Probably in excess of 80 miles an hour. Same here in Oak Park. This whole area here where you're seeing the whites showing up in the greens, where it's getting all the way to the purple colors. That's very strong winds. That's gonna knock your power out. That's gonna break a bunch of trees, toss around a bunch of stuff. This is probably an intense little storm, even if it doesn't make a tornado. So I'm gonna switch up panels now, right? I'm gonna make it so we can add in the correlation coefficient. I gotta make sure now that we do not get any tornadoes with this. I think the rear flank downdraft, so basically the backside of the storm, might be trying to take over a little bit here, and that could minimize tornado potential, but the wind potential is still very strong. So this is on the western portions of Chicago itself. The hail algorithm is going bananas on this, but we're not seeing the hail size backing that up. So even knowing the radar is saying 2.5-inch hail, I haven't seen anything 1/4. What we're looking at right now, it's a little hard to see with all the roads, but you notice how you have your little speckles of orange mixing in with the sea of red in the correlation coefficient in the upper right hand corner. Maybe some 1/4 size hail. For the most part, you're going to be below 1/4 size hail. The wind may be the big story on this here, guys. Okay, look at that. We got 1/4 size report, one southwest of Melrose Park. So it looks like some hail is also in the mix here, in the probably right behind or along with the wind on this. So notice, see, you got that 1-inch hail in Melrose Park. We have slightly higher reflectivity values kind of showing up here in around 60, and then the correlation coefficient just ever so barely going down, and it's showing up to some 1-inch hail. So it doesn't really look like we're seeing too much in the way of hail with this beyond 1 inch, but you're getting the very strong winds, and it doesn't look like does not look like right now that there's a tornado ongoing. We just got a radar update just there, literally as I'm talking, and whoop. Let's see. Okay, doesn't look like we have a tornado. It's good. No tornado. Very strong winds. You are getting, man, it is really blowing here in Brookfield, LaGrange Park, Riverside. Notice where you have all these purple colors showing up. That's indicating winds in the 70s, possibly even into the 80s. Again, 84-mile-per-hour winds came in at O'Hare Airport, and it didn't look as impressive as it did right here. And then very similar output in the Cicero area, again showing those strong winds. There is rotation here in the Stickney, Forest View, Cicero area, but nothing showing up as anything coming down. The rain is probably coming down hard across downtown Chicago now. Here is the inner loop. It is raining like crazy. Winds aren't as strong in the immediate downtown area, but I bet it's not that far from the Sears Tower. Just a little bit further west. Could be some pretty big time winds with this as it's racing to the south and to the east. No tornado confirmed. It is tornado warned, but nothing on the ground at the moment. The winds are very intense with this, especially in the Berlin area, the Cicero area, the Oak Park area, Maywood, and there is occasionally some hail, P to probably up to 1-inch hail with this, possibly even mixing with the heavier winds. If I zoom it out a little bit, you can see here, this is where the tornado warning goes. It goes all the way down to the Hammond area, right along the Indiana border, and includes pretty much all of the south side of Chicago. Most of Cook County is under a tornado warning right now, and the main area of concern is where these reds and the greens are meeting up here. Whoop, I zoomed in a little too far. This is your area of concern, and that's moving generally to the south and to the east, but there isn't too much in the way of big hail with this right now. Elsewhere, here we go. We can kind of see some of the other reports that have since come in. I believe this is the 1-inch report in Melrose Park. We got a wind damage report. Numerous limbs reported downtown Park Ridge. We have a 1-inch hail in the Mount Prospect area. We had 1-inch hail at Route 53 and Lake Cook Road in the Killdeer area, and then other strong wind reports. And it looks like we probably had that looks like that we had 1-inch hail here as well. It's just blocked by the wind damage report. And there's that 84-mile-per-hour wind gust recorded at O'Hare Airport. That's pretty intense. So, I believe the tornado warning hasn't really been updated too much yet. It's still just showing, a tornado and up to 2-inch hail possible. Again, does not look likely we're seeing 2-inch hail with this. Again, we've only really seen quarter-size hail, and nothing has further confirmed or denied that. Elsewhere, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect, or severe thunderstorm watch in effect in portions of Wisconsin. This is actually the storm from Milwaukee earlier. This is dropping quite a bit of hail as well, heading towards up to golf ball size hail. And that's heading towards Three Rivers, Michigan, coming up kind of soon here. I'm going to continue my focus in on the Chicago area. We have another radar update. Again, still nothing confirmed, no tornado. Very strong winds and some hail, mostly small. But there's been nothing to actually reach the ground. There's been rotation. There's been consistent rotation with this storm here, now all the way in the southwestern sections of Chicago. But nothing's come on the ground. The entire time I've been live, I haven't seen anything that indicates a tornado on the ground. So any of the damage you're seeing here, any of the wind, that's going to be just straight line winds from this. So we have straight line winds, especially just west of downtown. Okay, we just got a radar update, I think. Yep. Strong winds pretty much along the southwestern side of the storm, over by the Summit area, by Cicero. It's probably very windy in downtown Chicago right now, but the strongest winds just off to the west. The hail, again, nothing more than 1 inch in diameter. Might be a little wind driven, some of that sub-severe hail, but and that's under 1 inch in diameter, but doesn't look like anything crazy. So like I said, tornado spot over North Riverside. I cannot confirm that. I haven't seen anything confirming a tornado with this. So if we roll it back from where we first came on, this supercell, notice this little boundary from earlier. This is what the storm's riding on. Notice it as we move it forward. It's just been kind of riding along that boundary here. So I bet it's going to continue to do that as we keep going in here. Is Rogers Park going to miss the worst of it? Yes. It's one of the few neighborhoods in Chicago I know. Let's see, the latest update. Again, there's rotation. There's still rotation with this storm, but I'm not seeing anything here that indicates an imminent tornado. Just rotation, very strong winds, lots of thunder and lightning, and some hail, varying in sizes up to 1 inch in diameter. The algorithm's going crazy. It's saying 2-inch hail, even bigger than that. Haven't really had too much of that, really at all. It's only been up to some quarter-size hail, and I apologize, YouTube, for not answering comments quickly. You guys got a bunch of you guys making comments on here. I am not able to moderate this fast enough. Not able to read through the white color of the text overlaid above me is excessively difficult to see. So O'Hare Airport, the storm is pulling away. It looks like O'Hare is probably okay. It has since passed, but you guys got 84-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, that's if you're sitting on the runway when that hit, that was probably a little scary. So, but that storm has since passed. I'm sure they'll be able to, once this storm passes, assuming that power, things will probably start rolling again at O'Hare pretty soon. As we keep pushing forward here, again, that hail size, there really hasn't been too much hail with this. If we're looking right now, downtown Chicago, you guys are getting lit up right now with very strong, very heavy rain, lots of thunder and lightning, strong winds, hail, maybe some small hail, pea to half-inch hail, but probably nothing too crazy. I haven't been able to see anything more than 1-inch hail with this storm as it continues to get very close now to pushing into Lake Michigan. I think it'll just ever so barely get into Lake Michigan before it actually enters Indiana. Again, the hail size indicating it's 2 inches. It's not really that big, but it is very windy. Literally just to the south of downtown Chicago, you have very strong winds right along I-55 and Western Ave. So, yeah, it is pouring here. You can't see, definitely can't see across the street in downtown Chicago. It is The winds are ripping. The rain is very heavy. It'll move out of here pretty quick though. I think you guys will have things winding down within an hour or so. So you're just jumping in. We have this one lone storm essentially just racing across the immediate Chicago area. Very strong winds. We had 84-mile-per-hour wind gusts confirmed from Chicago O'Hare Airport. They got hit directly, and that has now since moved into just south of downtown Chicago. And this is going to continue moving off to the southeast and will likely cross into either the very southern portions of Lake Michigan here in the next few 10 to 15 minutes. Elsewhere, if we just do a quick overview again, so this is what's been happening in Chicago, and we have a couple pretty intense storms. Looks like some quarter-size hail happened to the west of Kalamazoo. A really intense storm that's heading towards Three Rivers. Michigan, notice this is all starting to try to form into one congealed line that could be a big-time wind and producer that would be racing off to the southeast. So Ohio, you may have some pretty intense storms a little bit later. So that's pretty much the only real game in town. I think, there's some stuff maybe trying to get near Rapid City in a little bit. Looks like we've had some really big hail, some tennis ball size hail in rural sections of Wyoming, but the most intense activity seems to be here in the Great Lakes region, with specifically the Chicago area being the main focus, being one of the biggest cities in the country, with very strong winds. Again, a tornado warning, but there hasn't been anything to say that it has been a tornado with this. So it's been tornado warned. People may be saying stuff, but I haven't seen any actual confirmation of a tornado. And the hail sizes has maintained 1 inch or smaller. It's warned for up to 2-inch hail, but it has had 1-inch hail or smaller within this entirety of the storm. And I'm even looking on my phone right now on radar scope to see anything else, see any MPing reports. Those are what the public is reporting, and I'm not seeing anything crazy. Somebody actually said a rotating wall cloud 2 miles northeast of Midway Airport. So again, the storm is rotating. It's rotating quite a bit, but it is not dropping a tornado right now. So if you're wondering where Midway is, I'm trying to get my bearings real quick here. Oh, okay. It's already past Midway. So the Midway Airport was right here. It passed just barely to the north. Might have gotten some gusty winds at Midway, but it is since past Midway Airport. So the two major airports here in the Chicagoland area has since passed. We got our entire roof of third floor apartment building removed here, one west northwest of Maywood. Good God! So again, this got impacted by the same winds that O'Hare got hit with, the 84. So the 80-mile-an-hour winds will do damage like that. So the roof of a 3-story apartment building got ripped off here in Maywood. So this is, again, very severe winds, and that has since moved here into the southern portions of Chicago itself. It's going to be crossing the Chicago Skyway, where Chicago Skyway and whatever this is, and Dan Ryan Expressway meet. You're about to get that kind of wind as well. So even though we don't have a tornado, nothing has been confirmed as a tornado. We've had some very, very intense winds. Again, roofs removed from buildings and stuff. So that means that's some strong winds. If you get roof damage, roof can start getting damaged about 60, and then you get higher than that, and especially if it's an older roof or whatnot, you can really start to see some major damage happen when you get up into the 70s and 80s, and that seems to be the case here. I'm no roof expert. I'm a meteorologist, but just from anecdotally, you can see some pretty intense damage happen with 80-mile-an-hour winds. Okay, I'm just kind of checking out on the work chat every now and again. All right, so now notice the previous tornado warning has since expired. It is the tornadic threat has since passed. If you are in Cicero, Oak Park, Elmwood, all that first areas that got tornado warned, that has since passed. That's since over. The tornado warned section of the storm is now limited to the southern sections of Chicago here, where the greens and the reds are meeting together. And again, there's rotation. The storm is rotating like crazy, but it is not actually has dropped any sort of tornado. It is causing wind damage for sure, definitely some straight line wind damage, but we could but in terms of tornadic damage, there hasn't been any confirmed tornadoes. 84 mile an hour winds apparently is enough to blow off a roof of an apartment building. So somebody asked about derecho. This is actually just an individual supercell. If I zoom it out, it's just one lone storm, one rogue storm ripping through Chicago right now. Is it possible that this turns into a derecho a little bit later? It is. We do have in Michigan, this seems to be trying to congeal into one storm, and then we have these other storms back here leading all the way back to the one we've been covering here in Chicago. This will likely all congeal together, and that could turn into a derecho, which is a long-lived straight-line wind event, and that could move through Indiana, Ohio, through the evening and overnight hours. So we'll be watching that, obviously, very carefully as it impacts a lot of folks. They finally have updated the tornado warning. They brought that hail size down to 1 inch. I don't know why they had it for 2 inch for so long, but it is down to 1 inch. That's what we've been seeing, up to 1 inch hail, a lot of severe hail, 80 mile an hour winds, and that potential for a tornado. I think the up to 80 mile per hour winds is the much more destructive force right now than if we get a little bit of a tornado to drop or not. That's my hot take, I guess. So looking at that latest update, I mean, this storm is wrapped up like crazy. We still do not have any tornado with it. We're going to be getting into Lake Michigan very soon here, but very strong winds, again, continue here in the south side of Chicago, over by the Oak Lawn area, and this is going to soon move into Lake Michigan, or just get very close to getting to Lake Michigan. I think might sneak into northern Indiana a tiny bit here. But downtown Chicago, you guys will be winding down pretty soon here. I mean, it's still raining like crazy, still probably pretty windy in downtown, but probably in the next 15 minutes or so, that's going to come to an end. And sirens are probably starting to turn off, probably gone off in like Evanston and all that, because the storm threat has since subsided off in northern portions, north of Eisenhower Expressway. You're good. It's over. It's the tornado threat has since passed. The tornado threat is still there in sections of like Evergreen Park and south side of Chicago, but we're actually getting very close to getting into Lake Michigan itself. Hail sizes but maintained around quarter size hail. I think the biggest story, again, we've had that 84 mile per hour wind gust at O'Hare. We've had a report of an entire roof ripped off. Lots of trees down and limbs in the roadways. A lot of strong wind gusts coming in with that, and this could be the start of a long evening. A lot of wind damage as we have all of these storms that may try to link together here and have some big storms. So we also have a 73 mile per hour wind gust in the Clear Lake area near Threes River, Michigan. So a very windy event may be about to unfold here at the 7 o'clock hour across northern Indiana and into Ohio and sections of southern Michigan, all coming up here in a little bit. Elsewhere, again, this is probably the biggest game in town here in the Chicago area. So we're looking at, we're waiting for another radar update. Again, the most notable part of this storm was near the airports of western sections of Chicago. Looks like some pretty significant winds occurred, and that is now going to be moving off the coast very soon here in Chicago area itself. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We've had a ton of people watching. I think YouTube kind of blew up a little bit. Every once in a while, our YouTube decides to take off. Your first time here, welcome. We do have a bunch of storms coming in. I know you got a ton of stuff Ton of comments coming in. I try to see them, try to help out. It's a little tough. There's no tornado on the ground right now, man. We're good. Nothing's on the ground. It is very windy. You might feel like you're in a tornado, but it's just straight line winds and heavy rain, at least from what we've seen thus far. We'll probably get another radar update here in a minute. It's 7:20, and this is a radar frame from 7:16, so about 4 minutes ago. Usually you get an update every 2.5 minutes. There it is right there. So, looking at it, looks like we could possibly see something. The rotation down here, again, even knowing we are still going, it's still looking like we could be seeing some intense storms. So, screw Chicago. What about KC? Nothing going on in Kansas City. Sorry, man. McKinley Park safe. Pretty much, if you are in the purple box, and even then, if you're in the purple box and you are north of I-294, you're fine. Or south of I-294, you're fine. North of there, that's your best chance. The highest at risk area is south side of Chicago right now. Everywhere else, if you're not in the south side of Chicago, chances are you're okay. You got some heavy rain happening in downtown Chicago, ton of thunder and lightning, maybe some gusty winds, but maybe a little bit of hail. But a tornado threat, that's really limited to the south side of Chicago right now. I can even pinpoint it down to Dan Ryan Expressway and like South Perry Avenue. You guys have your opinions about the south side of Chicago, but that's what it looks like. Everywhere north, everyone on the north side of the Chicagoland area, the storms have since passed. I bet there's a lot of folks that don't have power in a swath of very intense winds here in and around the O'Hare Airport area, but overall. Greetings from south side. All right, cool. Good. We got people coming in from the south side of Chicago. And it looks like, yeah, if you are south of South Constance Avenue, I don't know how helpful this is, but I pretty much just know like the streets. If you're south of this line, you're okay. I think you're gonna be okay. It is storms are moving generally south and eastward. It's gonna be heading next toward the little area of like Whitting, East Chicago, Burnham. That's coming up. Like closer you are to Lake Michigan on the south side, the more likely you are to be having to be a little more careful with this tornado warning. But I think we're gonna pop off the coast here pretty soon. So once the circulation gets into Lake Michigan, I don't have too much to worry about here. Everything else is everything's starting to calm down. If you are in DuPage County, calm down. Lake County, you're fine. Cook County, north of the Eisenhower Expressway, you're fine. Latest update here looks like, yeah, if you are west of whatever this, god dang it, what was this highway again? Dan Ryan Expressway. If you're west of Dan Ryan Expressway, you're fine. East Chicago, Burnham, Whitting, that's really the area that has the most potential for anything tornadic now. But even then, I think it's just a strong wind risk, heavy rain, possibly some hail coming up here. Is in Chicago. It is actually past Chicago. It's in Chicago. It has impacted a fair bit of Chicago. This is, again, another overview. It's like Michigan. This is all conforming together. Looks like we're going to have quite a bit of strong gusty winds here going off. So let's see. Still see sirens. Sirens still going in downtown. That'll probably calm down once this tornado warning either moves out of Cook County or expires or is canceled. So that's what we're seeing there. Back. Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to calm down in a lot of the Chicago area. It's going to be pretty much right along Lake Michigan at this point. Let me get the radar back to the most up-to-date time frame. Computer, my laptop is definitely not happy with what's going on right now, so kind of let that do its thing. Yeah, looks like it's starting to wind down. A lot of it's going to Lake Michigan now. Still starting. So yeah, it looks like the sirens are still going off. They should be winding down here. I mean, the storm. If you are in like the north side, there definitely isn't. Oh man, you guys got all kinds, tons of comments coming in. No tornadoes confirmed. There has been no confirmed tornado within the entirety of the storm, which is good. We've had very strong winds, a lot of heavy rain. We've had some quarter-size hail, but a lot of sub-severe hail. But since then, I think the sirens will likely go off very soon here in Chicago. So I think it's winding down a fair bit. Hopefully, my friend who lives in Chicago wasn't trying to reach out to me. Oh, nope, yeah, she did. Whoops-de-doodle. Yep. I got a text from my friend in Chicago of the tornado sirens going off. Hopefully she's okay. and with that, I think things are starting to wind down as the majority of these storms are now just the majority of the big storm is let's see, everything will be fine. Is the worst parts of the storms are now over Lake Michigan. The area of rotation is about to pop off into Lake Michigan as well. So I think with that, I may wind things down. I would like to eat dinner at some point. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Oh, we got a lot. Can we send some to Europe, please? I think Europe is going to see some storms. So it doesn't look like we're any confirmed tornadoes. It looks like we're about to push off the coast. So again, we've had some crazy winds here. You can check out, if you have hail trace, you can check all of this fun stuff out on our website. It's being updated live. Thanks for tuning in. Somebody said, can you stream Fortnite? Okay. Thanks for tuning in, YouTube. We got a ton of you guys. You can subscribe to us, follow us on our Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, all that fun stuff. All at Hail Trace. Pretty easy to find us. We do updates every day. We do live coverage. We do stuff on TikTok. So enjoy following our page. And thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to wrap this up, and we'll see you at the next storm.